What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm back with my wife, who's back there somewhere. I've been playing Diablo and going to the gym today, so I decided to go live and just see who shows up and talk about PEDs and whatever else. Oh, there she is. Whatever else you guys want to discuss. The last live was a lot of fun, fielding questions from the audience. So a lot of times I don't like to do these because I end up getting trapped for 3 hours, but I don't know. It's better than playing Diablo. Actually, it's not necessarily better than playing Diablo. I've been having a great time with that game. They did a really great job of fixing all of the things that people in the community were complaining about. So it's been really fun. But since people are starting to show up, before we go any further on this live, let me disclaim this very clearly for everyone watching and for all of the YouTube monitors. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Anything discussed on this live video is not medical advice. It is not intended to glorify the use of anything illegal. Do not break the law. Do not do anything you should not do. This entire conversation is pure and simply me sharing my experiences, my wife's experiences, and answering questions from the community about what we would do in certain situations. So there you have it. Apparently, it's very important that I say that because I've had more than one problem with my lives. I suspect I know why. I've been having some problems with my lives, but we'll see how it goes. I've got my Dr. Thunder. I've got some Protein 2.0, so we should be good to go for a little while at least. I thought until I start getting questions and comments in the comment section that I would go through some comments on my YouTube channel. The comments in the YouTube channel, man, are it's everything from some of the most inspiring things that you could possibly read to things that make you absolutely lose your will to live, to things that make you lose all hope in the future of humanity. I posted a physique update earlier today. I was fucking feeling it at the end of my gym workout. If you guys are seeing this video before you watch my most recent upload, I effed up my my mint dose, and so I've been taking half the mint that I thought I was taking. I put up a whole video about this earlier, but despite that fact, my physique is absolutely morphing again. And so I posted this physique update. The lighting and shit is so good in this bathroom. And this guy who is clearly not a member of my audience, he must have just seen my reel. My reel must have got promoted to his feed. And he said, he comments on my physique update and goes, steroids, shoulders are a dead giveaway. Wow. What are you, fucking Sherlock Holmes? The shoulders, like that was the dead giveaway. When I read this comment, I was laughing hysterically at the whole, I guess. Like, I'm so obviously on steroids. To me, it's unbelievable. And then like when I was reading it, it reminds you that there are people in the world who think Mike O'Hearn is natty. I mean, there are people who actually believe that Jeff Nippard is natty. Like, it's so absolutely foreign to me. I cannot imagine what kind of Kool-Aid you must be drinking to actually buy into this bullshit. I was talking about it while we were having dinner. My son's like, "Who's Mike O'Tren?" I was like, "No, his name's actually Mike O'Hearn." And I showed him a picture, and he's like, "Well, that guy's on steroids." And I'm like, "Yeah, but he claims to be a lifelong natty." My 13-year-old was like, "Oh my God." I saw a really interesting video. If I was better at doing all of this, I would link it. Oh my God, Matt Simon, you're the man. I'll get to that 1 second. I mean, I saw this really interesting video. I forget what it's called. I'll look at my history and maybe I'll drop it in my Discord or something. But this guy did like this like kind of like little mini documentary about bodybuilding before the creation of testosterone, like before testosterone had ever been synthesized. And in this little, it's like a little short 15-minute YouTube video, and he shows what the guys who were winning the bodybuilding shows like back in the 1912s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, all the way into the 80s and 90s. He takes you through what these guys look like. And so when you see what the best of the best of the best look like before steroids had ever been created, it blows the top off of any of this nonsense. Like, these guys were the absolute best in the world, and none of them even had visible abs. Like, that's the thing. Like, anybody who's walking around year round with visible abs, I don't give a shit what you tell me you're on steroids. You're a lie. Jeff Nippert is a lying. He's absolutely lying. Dustin Hintz, don't feel bad, dude. Sometimes I feel like a grown up, totally crushing it, and then I try to get out of my car with the seat. Yeah, dude. I I don't I don't know what the fuck I was doing with that dose. I have no. I mean, I guess it worked out. I got an entire week of come up. That's hilarious, though. Matt Simon TV, thank you, brother, for all the tips. You're the man. Does DECA cause insomnia and anger like Tren? No, in my experience, absolutely not. DECA is very mild. It's extremely mild. DECA was the first compound I ran outside of regular TRT testosterone was DECA. And the only problem with DECA, though, if you're sensitive, and I think everybody is to some degree, DECA is a 19-nor drug. It is a progestin. It has very, very pronounced progestogenic activity. And if you do not control that, some people believe P5P works. Great if it works for you. But if you do not control that, it will absolutely 100% wreck your D game. It can cause a lot of depression. There's definitely negative side effects from DECA. I have never experienced insomnia or anger of any kind on DECA, though. It's extremely mild, aside from the fact that, I mean, you do have to deal with prolactin. And to me, once you get to prolactin, like any compound that causes you to have to potentially run something like cabergoline, to me, I think is an intermediate drug, just because you're like, to me, the like starter compounds are testosterone, because you have to have it. You can't avoid it. So you have to learn to manage your estrogen. But then to me, like, all of the DHT derivatives are way easier to run. 19-nors are super powerful, but they come with side effects for sure. Anger and insomnia have not been one for me. Chaos says, Mike, my buddy Josh from Grand Rapids has a year-round 8-pack, and he never works out, but did hardcore gymnastics training under his Chinese tiger mom for 18 long, hard years. Genetics are wild as fuck. He's not even strong, just insane, lean with zero effort. Yeah, so my son's friend was telling him some shit about, he's like, my mom knows a guy who knows a guy who's not on roids, and he has abs. This kid was actually telling my son that your abs don't count unless they're visible when you're not flexing them. That's what he told my son. You only technically have visible abs if you can see them just totally standing totally normally. And of course, it's possible. I mean, if you get lean enough and dry enough, then you can see abs. There's like lifting your hands over your head. There's ways to see them. There's always going to be some genetic outlier. Jeff Nippert is not the genetic outlier. It's total bullshit. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why these people lie now. I get it. Like, I didn't get it for years. I massively underestimated how petty people are and how you can lose your entire career and have just no end of problems because you admit to doing steroids. That, and you have to understand that, there's 8.1 billion people on the earth. And of that 8.1 billion, like 6.5 billion of them are total idiots that will believe anything you tell them. So Mike O'Hearn undoubtedly has a fucking massive audience of people who really believe he's natural. They like him because they think that he represents something that they could possibly attain naturally. That's what people want to believe. That, anybody who wants to have a great body and starts listening to my channel, like, uh, sorry, bro. I should have mentioned this on my Discord. Like, I'm just such seat of my pants. Hey, how do you say your name, dude? Like, Kuo. Help me out. Like, I'm always talking to my wife about your comments on Discord. I can't. Can you give me like a phonetic way to say your name? What was I saying? Yeah, there's people who want to believe you can. It's like KHOU 11 News. That doesn't help. Do they say that phonetically, or is it just KHOU? Co- Houston News. KHU. I'm completely helpless. Anyway, yeah, there's just a giant number of people who want to believe that you can have K who? Oh, okay, Hugh. K Hugh. Thank you. KU. Got it. I made it. See, now you can see why I didn't dose my mint properly. Yeah. So anyway, enough of that. I'm sure there are the thing to me that I don't understand with people like Nipper that just blows my mind. Anybody, even if, let's just say for the sake of arguments, that by some outrageous miracle, this guy was genetically capable of having this tiny little waist, shredded abs, somehow manages to not lose any of his substantial, upper body tissue. Let's just say hypothetically, by in some miracle universe, this guy can build this body totally naturally. Okay. So why not do gear and go win 10 consecutive Olympias and be the most famous bodybuilder ever known to man on the planet? I mean, he's a short guy, so he would be like dominating the 212 division. I just don't believe for 10 seconds that I just don't buy it. I call me a cynic. I just absolutely do not believe that it's true. So yeah, well, I'm right here. I'm drinking Dr. Thunder in a cup. See my color changing cup? You can tell where I don't know. I just got these at Walmart. They're cheap. I'm trying to keep. See, one of the things that like a lot of people miss out on, like a bunch of people. That's the other thing that is really problematic in this bodybuilding space is that people want you to basically confirm their own worldview. And this is true across the board, really, in life. People really don't want to hear anything that is counter their worldview. So people will ask me to make a full day of eating video, and then no one will watch the video. It won't do well. And I presume that the reason that it doesn't do well is because 99.9% of the people who eat, if most people eat what I eat in a day, they would weigh 350 fucking pounds. So, like, a lot of people will accuse me of having this trash diet. The reality is that if I don't eat trash, like if I don't eat fatty, high, like low, whatever, high glycemic or low glycemic, if I don't eat simple carbs and fats and trash, I cannot get enough calories in during the day. It's impossible. So where some people can't eat like an entire DiGiorno pizza and drink 2 liters of Dr. Pepper, if I tried to literally live on a bodybuilding diet of chicken, rice, broccoli, fish, I would weigh 150 pounds. I just cannot get enough calories. Even with all the MK677 in the world, I still have to eat like trash to actually get enough calorie dense food in to survive. Jeff Nippert is like the YouTube equivalent of Lance Armstrong. He knows he's on roids. We know he's on roids, but he's definitely not on roids. It's absolutely true. That was my dad, my poor dad, dude. My dad was like the quintessential, like, guy with, the guy who was smoked, right? Like my dad is this gigantic fucking sports fan. Like you've probably never in your life met a bigger sports fan than my dad. He has in their spare bedroom, he has turned it into this shrine of collectibles and shit. He just watches sports all fucking day, every day. He's retired. He'll watch golf he'll watch anything. I mean, I swear to God, he would watch cricket probably if it was on TV. He doesn't give a shit. He just watches sports constantly. And I can remember being around during the Balco Labs scandal before we knew it was the Balco Labs scandal, when like Mark McGuire was on Andro 6. And then Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and all these guys start knocking the fucking cover off the baseball. And all of a sudden, there's this exciting thing going on. And I can remember sitting on my dad's couch. And he's like a purist, And, I'm looking at like Jose Canseco or Barry Bonds. And I remember one time my dad was we were sitting there together and he goes, "Man, look at the size of these guys' legs." And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, they're all on steroids." And he's like, "What? No, they're not." And he snapped on me. Like he fucking got pissed. Like he was not trying. You have no idea what these guys go through. They get tested. They couldn't be on steroids. They get tested all the time. And he's like losing his shit because he really wanted to believe in the purity of professional sports. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like a kid. So I'm kind of trying, I'm getting yelled at. I'm like, okay, but like they're on steroids. Like all you have to do is just look. All you have to do is look at Jose Canseco, in the fucking 80s or whenever he started. And then the guy put on like 70 pounds of muscle in no time and morphed into a giant. How did you think that happened? Why is it that there was like 5 guys? I remember there's this great scene. There's this great video that breaks down like the highlights of the home run when the guys were like competing to break the home run record. And this was the year that Barry Bonds, I think, hit like 75 homers. And there's this one game where Barry Bonds steps up to the plate. I think it's in San Francisco. I don't know where the fuck. Or no, it's somewhere up in New York. Because I mean, as soon as he swings, you can tell this thing's fucking gone. And the announcer goes, "Oh my God, he just knocked that thing into New Jersey." These guys, it's not even close. That was the most exciting baseball ever fucking was during the Balco Labs scandal when those guys were all sauced up. And the thing that's crazy, if you haven't seen that video on Netflix, you should definitely check it out. Because they were basically taking like oral tren. I forget what the exact compound was, but it was effectively like orally active trenbolone. And so these guys were really fucking sauced and just absolutely knocking the shit out of a baseball. See what else. Very light on the comments. Check drops Mike. Dude, at this point, I would never say no to, I'm not saying no to anything. Like I'm almost certainly getting ready to try tren suspension as much as I shouldn't. I think I'm going to try to control my excitement and go and start with Tren Ace. I have already moved to pinning my tren daily because I do feel like a little come up every night. So I'm going to see what that's like. So I'm going to pin a small amount of Tren E every morning along with my mint just to try to make it like that much stronger. And then whenever I do business again, I will probably get Ace. I don't know. I'm probably gonna try that first. I really wanted to try tren suspension like pre-workout. But check drops, I don't know. I can't even remember. I can't get to my other keyboard. I can't remember what compound that actually is. They were on test suspension and check drops, juice to the gills for a couple of hours, and then down to nothing by the time the game over. Real smart. Yeah, they had the clean and the clear, and then the guy who masterminded that thing was pretty brilliant. He did a really the thing watching that show make you sick though, because there's that one guy who won a gold medal in track, and he was like before he started doping, he was like number 8 in the world, and then the guy started doping, and not only did he become number 1, but he broke the world record. It was like a 100-meter sprint or some shit. No, it wasn't Ben Johnson. It was some no-name guy you never fucking heard of, and he was like a nobody, and he was like one of the guys that turned state's evidence, if I remember in the film. He sang like a fucking canary when because the Balco Labs people got busted by the IRS. It wasn't the DEA or the FBI or anybody that busted him. It was this fucking dweeb pencil pusher from the IRS that started looking into them because they were set up as this like TRT clinic or something. And this IRS agent noticed that their financials looked a little bit suspicious, making a lot of money over here doing TRT. And he's the one that actually brought the whole thing down. The thing that was wild is the guy, and I can't remember his name now, that was running Balco. He got charged with like 47 federal felonies. And then they ended up having to drop a bunch of them because at the time, test blends were not technically illegal. And so because he had made his own concoctions and they were blends, that technically bypassed the law at the time. And so they had to drop a bunch of the charges, and then the guy ended up only getting 6 months in federal. Victor Conti was his name. That's right. He ended up only getting 6 months. So I don't know. It's a really interesting show if you've never seen it. Sorry, I got to keep the calories flowing. Joy says it kind of pisses me off when I meet big ass dudes at the gym and they tell me they're natural. But at the same time, they're probably saying this because of all the idiots that freak out about it. Yeah, so that's one of the things that's funny about me. I was going to Planet Fitness in a Trenbolone fucking t-shirt with a Trenbolone hat on. So I was leaving nothing to fucking guess. And I can't tell you the number of times that I've been approached by somebody and they start the kind of like, because I get it, dude. I was that guy at one point. I remember the first time I tried to approach somebody. This guy was a giant compared to me at the time. And, it's such an awkward thing. You like try to like, because you're already not talking to this dude. And it's like you try to make small talk and get around, hoping he's going to kind of give you the opening. And I finally like asked him and he said something about like he's like, oh, I've heard that Dragon Pharma, Dragon something, I can't remember what it's called, is good or something. So like anytime somebody approaches me and they start even asking questions, I just go steroids. I just right in the middle of the conversation. The second they start, like you can tell they're like trying like, damn, bro, you're really big. Like what do you eat? Steroids. That's what it is. Just skip the bullshit. That's what it is. I don't know why anybody needs to lie. I don't understand. Like there's no fear for me admitting that, the crime is possession. So if somebody wants to come knock on my door and get like four vials misdemeanor, I don't keep quantity here. I'm not an idiot. Like I have too much exposure because of this channel. So like as long as you're not holding giant amounts, it's kind of a pissant thing. So like why would you lie about it? Everybody knows anyway. Half the people I used to work out with at my old gym were cops and they were all on shit. So, one of the guys that I made good friends with was active duty police officer. This guy was on trend, everything. In fact, he won his pro card in like 2 shows. Now it was masters, not taking anything away from the guy, at all. But he was like, he was older than me. He was in his like late 40s, fucking giant dude. And I remember I'd see him in the gym a bunch and he was a monster. And I had kind of talked to him a little bit left and right, just in passing. And then one day I come walking up to the gym and Dude's sitting in his fucking squad car out in front of the fucking gym. I'm like, oh shit, it's got to be a raid in here. And he got out with his gym bag, went in, and he ended up competing. I mean, hell, Ronnie Coleman, I guess it wasn't legal back then, but illegal. The fact that it's illegal now is so stupid, and they just made it worse. That's the thing that's crazy. They're going the wrong direction. I got contacted. I wonder if I can say this. You think that's pushing it?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to get her in trouble.
I'll just say that I know police officers, and I got contacted by one because Anavar used to be legal. So until June of 2023, you could go to certain TRT clinics and you could get Anavar prescribed. There was a guy, in fact, that was prescribing all the cops here in Dallas. His name was Dr. Sheldon, I think, or Shelton, or Sheldon. Which one was it? Shelton. You can look this shit up. He was running like an operation here in DFW, and all these cops that were going to the gym would go and they would get like whatever supposedly the deal was, they would get whatever was FDA approved. So it was like Anavar, Test, I think Deca, Anadrol, those four I'm pretty sure of. I can't remember if there was any other ones. And so he could legally write these scripts. This guy was charging astronomical prices. It was like, I looked on his website one time, it was like $200, I think, for 50 10 milligram Anavar tabs. It was wild. Well, he apparently it was either illegal to write those scripts the way he was writing them, or he was doing something on the side, because dude got raided and his whole practice got shut down. And so now I've been contacted by more than one of his old clients, like, hey, where I can't get Anavar anymore. Can you like tell me where? And I'm like, yeah, I can tell you, but I'm not fucking helping you. I'm not stupid. Victor Conti was a legend and was only one of many people doing guided doping for pro athletes. Sad that he got used as the poster boy for the crackdown. Yeah, man, that's the thing, is that I just feel like at a bare minimum, all of this should be at a bare minimum, all steroids should be available on a prescription basis. Like, what's the downside? Like, let's apparently the American government likes to keep the Chinese underground in business, and like they seem to want to keep the cartels in business, because it would be so easy to put an end to this. Like, just make it scheduled, all of the roids scheduled, and then set up clinics all over the place where you can go sit down with a doctor, just talk about your bodybuilding goals, get your scripts, get your blood work checked regularly. Somebody can be constantly monitoring to see if you were developing any liver problems, heart issues. Like, this could be big business for the American economy, because people are doing it anyway. That's the thing that makes no sense. You're not stopping it. You're not preventing it. So it seems to me that you should want to make money on anything that's going to happen anyway. It's far less dangerous than alcohol, but they're stupid with it. They just keep making it worse and creating, they just pave the road for QSC to just totally dominate the marketplace. I can't understand why that is. They usually say, yeah, just protein powder and creatine. And one guy was peel. Yeah. I don't get it, man. But again, I mean, look, like, I'm over here going, I don't understand why anybody lies. Meanwhile, I went from a position where I had never been denied a job in my life. 100% of job interviews I'd ever been on in my life, I was offered a job. 20 years of experience with a company, had multiple competitive offers on the table at all times to go to work for competitive companies. And I started making serious bodybuilding content and my trend rants and all that shit. And no matter how much I've tried to hide it, it seems to just be following me around like a black cloud that I can't escape. And as of yet, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do about it. So, obviously they're smarter than me, because these guys are able to stay employed because apparently people will believe them. And that's what I was saying in my homeless video last night. I think we're on part 5 of my homeless story. That was the same thing with my family. Like, my family knew that my brother and my cousins and everybody were doing drugs, but they just all lied about it. And then I admitted it and told the truth. And then all of a sudden I was the black sheep. It's like, really? How does that work? So you want me to be dishonest with you in order to have a relationship with you, and I'm just not going to do it. Like, fuck that. That's just not who I am.
Half the time when somebody comes up to you at the gym and they ask if what and you say that you're always like steroids, but half the time they act like, oh, surely not. Like,
Yeah.
they act all disappointed and like
That's
maybe
true.
they don't believe you even then.
That's true. It's just as likely that somebody will ask me, like, how did you get that big? And when you tell them steroids, they're disappointed. They don't want to believe that that's what's required. They want to believe that if they take creatine and some bullshit they found at GNC, that they're going to look like me. And it's never going to fucking happen. It's never going to happen. There's no world where that's going to happen. And they just don't want to believe it. So, what else? Not a lot of. You got anything you want to talk about?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, no.
You don't have any. You don't have any topics of conversation here.
I don't know.
It's been it's a light night on the live.
Because it's Saturday night. Other people other people have things.
It's Saturday night. What was I thinking going live on a Saturday night? This is what I understand. Like, I mean, I understand now. Like, I get it now. Like, why people would not be on YouTube Live. But the thing I don't understand is, why is it that the gyms are empty on Saturday and Sunday? I can't figure that out. I don't understand. It's always blown my mind why the gyms are totally vacant on Saturday and Sunday. Like, what are you doing all day? Like, you don't have an hour to go get a workout in? I mean, it works out great for me because I love working out Saturday and Sundays. But because there's no one there. But I just don't understand why. To me, if you don't work out on the weekends, then you are not committed to this game. Like, if you spend your weekend drinking and you spend the weekday trying to be a bodybuilder, you just need to fucking go hang it up. It's never going to fucking happen. Alcohol absolutely shuts down protein synthesis. People don't seem to realize this. You cannot build the best possible physique that you can have while drinking alcohol. It's the stupidest thing to put in your body from a bodybuilding context. So it's a total waste of time. Any plans to give Halo a go in the future? No, I don't think. Not currently. Again, I won't rule anything out.
Now we know what's next.
Yeah, no, Halo's not terribly exciting to me. Check drops are definitely not exciting. The things that I'm most currently interested in are Tren suspension, Tren Ace. Obviously, I'm running the Mint right now. I'll probably, whenever I do more business, I will probably get EQ on hand, just because I've never tried it and I'm tired of getting beaten up about it. And maybe it will be this great anti-estrogen that everybody's talking about. It's like every time I get close to thinking that I want to try EQ, I see somebody just talking about how, like, you got to run it for a minimum of 10 weeks to get anything out of it. And it's an estrogen nightmare. And it's like, it just seems to me there's at least as many reasons not to take EQ as there are reasons to take it. What I'm really hoping, honestly, right now is that Mint is going to be the thing for me, because it does produce a really good attitude. And like right now, I'm tapering down my Arimidex dose and transitioning in the Mint. And so if Mint ends up being something that I can work in, if I can get this triple 19 NOR combination going and produce a really remarkable physique with it, then that would make me happy. I know there's going to be the whole chat's going to blow up with EQ. Been considering EQ, but always hear such conflicting opinions. Experience, yeah, me too. I'm on EQ right now. Test E, Tren E, EQ 500, 500, 570. Definitely keeps E2 in control. Yeah, so I was gonna run it like when I placed my last order, I was gonna get it, and they were everybody, they were out of stock, and so I couldn't, and I just decided fuck it, and then I keep going through these phases where I think I'm done. Like I got stuck at 200 for over a year. I was just like, I literally, I talked about this in one of my videos. I had decided to quit the game, really. Like I was stuck at 200, and I started going through all my stash at my off-site location, and like going through everything that I had on hand to start getting rid of shit that I was never going to use, and to just reduce their overall possible burden. And I found the MK, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just. It was like I had a little bit left, so I was like, fuck it, I'll run this MK for a little while, and then boom, my appetite blew up, and I started growing again. So I was ready to quit the game at 200. I thought that I was never going to be able to consume the calories. And then when I started the MK, that just completely unlocked this. It's like finding another gear in your car. And now it seems like the fucking sky's the limit. So, I don't know. Like nothing's out of the realm of possibility. I'm up to 212 again. I'm considerably drier and more peeled this time at 212 than I was when I was at 214 or 212 before. And given the fact that I'm pretty sure I just crashed my estrogen, I'm probably minus a natural amount of water weight. So I would not be surprised if my weight doesn't shoot up a couple of pounds in the next couple of days. So, you know, um, like anything's possible at this point. What would you do for a first cycle if you went back? I'm not terribly. I'm not. I don't regret my first cycles at all. Like technically, my first cycle was TRT. It was 200 milligrams of test per week. I put on 12 solid pounds of muscle. Like my body definitely changed on that small cycle. And then I did a second cycle at 500 milligrams and grew another 10 pounds. And like, I don't think necessarily if I had added a different compound, it would have been any better. So, like, yeah, so like if you're bored of test only, then, I would try, like, if you're trying to grow, yep, chaos. If I was trying to grow, and I was doing test only, Anadrol would be a great first oral to try. You're going to be able to grow much better on Anadrol than you are Anavar. I think Anadrol is very tolerable. Anadrol is definitely my favorite oral for bulking, without a doubt. Like, I love the feel of Anavar, but Anadrol is way better for bulking. And so you could definitely do test and Anadrol. You do have to be aware that there is some potential for progestogenic activity with Anadrol. So it's something you might run into an issue with. Obviously, Deca is a great drug to add to the mix if you're bulking. As long as you're willing to control for E2 and prolactin. If you just want more anabolism and you want a little bit different feel, you could add something like a mast. It's not going to give you're not going to grow a shit ton on it probably, but it definitely has a very positive feel. It would give you an experience with a different compound that you haven't run before. You could run less testosterone and a whole bunch of mast. You have to be careful because it does have some SERM type activity apparently. Let me think what else. A lot of people use EQ as the compound that they add to test when they go to their second or third cycle. I wouldn't change a lot about the way. The only thing I would change, like if I could go back to the beginning, honestly, the one thing, if I could do it all over again, I would have. My biggest regret was not taking ancillaries seriously. Not taking gyno seriously. Gyno is fucking deadly serious. I have permanent gyno because of the fact that I believed the bullshit. Caber was hard to source back in the day. I didn't want to fuck with it. I tried to get around buying Caber by using ropinirole that I could get from my shrink. back in the day, I could get, I tried the P5P, and it ruined my cycles. And so if I could do anything over again, it would be to absolutely manage my estrogen and prolactin. It's every bit as important, if not more important, than the androgens you're running. So many guys out here are just wasting the fucking gains, destroying their bodies because they just will not. They just keep listening to the bro science about estrogen and prolactin. So if I could go back again, I would definitely keep both of those in line, and then I would probably repeat. I would probably do test. I wouldn't do D-ball. So my third side did test 200, then I did test 500, and then I did test Deca D-ball. I would not fuck with D-ball. That D-ball feels amazing. There's so many great things about D-ball. It will grow tits on you in 4 fucking days if you're susceptible. It's just too much estrogen to deal with. I just cannot deal with it. I would much rather use an anadrol. It feels almost as good as D-ball without all the sides. Yeah. If now this is for somebody who's growing. If you're cutting, that's a totally different ball game. Obviously, I'm also very glad that I did not waste a whole lot of time getting the trend. I really didn't. I think I was 1 year into actual steroid use before I tried Tren, and thank God I did not wait a second longer, because it is definitively, to me, the best of all of them. But I'm also having trouble holding on. My dad antagonized me by poking me, and it ended in a full-blown physical fight. Oh, bro, I did see you talking in Discord about some of this. If you have, I'm being real straight with you, dude. If you have anger issues on test only, dude, you're a young dude, I'm pretty sure. Don't tell me your age. I don't want to know. But I know you're one of the younger guys. Be careful. Fucking Anadrol will make you more aggressive. It's certainly not the most aggressive aggression inducing drug in the world, but it definitely will add some aggression. Obviously, stay the fuck away from Tren until you're absolutely certain you can handle it. And whenever you do start it, go super low. Our boy Chadrick, man. I hope he's out having fun with his girl tonight, and he's not in shackles, because dude was so eager to try to get that stuff in his system. And I think he went from like 100 to 200 to 400 a week before within the first 2 weeks. And dude is going to have he's going to have a fucking ride on his hands. Matt Simon TV, does growth hormone help with sleep? Growth hormone will knock you the fuck out. Growth hormone will put me to sleep harder than any sleeping pill or sedative I've ever taken. The problem is you have no control over it. So for me, like if I take GH, which I'm probably about to start like really soon, like maybe tomorrow, I don't know yet. I'm still waiting on an answer. I don't know if anybody answered me on let's see if I got an answer. I asked on Discord what people thought about running GH along with MK677. I take the MK677 for the appetite, because it increases my appetite. But I know it also increases growth hormone. So I'm considering running GH alongside MK677. Regardless, whenever I start GH, I do not start any higher than 2 IUs. This time, I might start with 1 IU. And the reason I say that is because when you start GH, like if I start 2 IUs, by day 3, I will start getting knocked out with lethargy. I mean, there is nothing you can do. I can sit here and drink 1 Red Bull after the other trying to stay awake, and I will have to go lay down and take a nap. It lasts for several days to a week. at whatever dose you're on, and then like I usually run GH at 4 IUs a day, and I have to taper up to that dose. Otherwise, I will be absolutely in a coma. And that's what it feels like. I say that all the time. Like usually what'll happen is I'll eat dinner and I'll be done with dinner. And within 15, 20 minutes of eating dinner, it's just like, I just cannot, and I go pass out for like an hour. Um, thank God I haven't been unemployed while I've been fucking around with GH, because I don't know how anybody can keep a job and run GH. It will definitely make you sleepy. You do get better recuperative sleep at night. I have tried to figure out a way to time the GH so that the lethargy kicks in at night. And it doesn't matter if I take it first thing in the morning, 4 hours before bed, last thing in I cannot time it so that that it causes me to go to sleep, like for example, without a sleeping pill or something. But it does cause chronic lethargy throughout the day until your body adjusts to it. Cattle drugs going to turn me into a demon. Yeah, the trend's no joke. Are you going to continue the Bible series? Jory, I don't know. I don't know. I want to. Like I could do hundreds of hours of breaking down scripture, talking about all my views on the Bible. And it's like, for what reason? Like the people, when I make the Bible videos, people who already aren't Christians love them. And so that doesn't change anything because they're already not believers. And everyone who is a believer hates them. And I lose subscribers because I shit talk their religion. So it's like pointless, basically. Like it costs me subscribers, and it doesn't change anybody's mind. In my experience, it's almost impossible to change people's mind on religion. It just doesn't matter how much evidence there is. What's up, Jen? It doesn't matter how much evidence there is. It's impossible. And so as much as I really enjoy doing that content, it's just like fucking channel suicide. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another separate channel one day, and just that way it separates, and then anybody who wants to see it can see it. But it's just toxic. Like I have basically little to no audience on the left because I've pissed all of them off. And so the only audience that I can really have is basically right wing, and the vast majority of them are Christians or religious in some way. And so it's just, you can't fucking win, dude. 300 of Nastrozole. Holy shit, GH makes me so tired all day. It's hard to get to work in the morning. It just makes me, yeah, it wears off for me, Orange Diamond. Like eventually I get to the point where I don't notice the GH at all, and I can run it. I usually run it for 6 months at a time and have no issues. But that first little period, is, sorry, something in my eye again, is brutal for me. What's going on, Jen? I found out that I was not totally out of my mind last night on Discord, apparently. I woke Sarah up in the middle of the night. Like after I got off Discord, I was so fucked up on my sleeping pill that after I got off Discord, I was feeling guilty about having even mentioned one of my exes. And I'm laying there and I'm trying to go to sleep. And I'm like, fuck, man. Why did I even talk about that shit? Sarah's gonna wake up and read it, and I felt like I'm usually good. Like I think I have a handle on myself, and like I feel like I'm always appropriate and respectful of her feelings, unless of course I'm making a rant about one of our fights, and then I'm totally disrespectful of her feelings. But usually I feel like I do a good job. But the thing is that I have, unfortunately, in the past, gotten out of control of my sleeping pills. That rarely happens anymore. But I have sent more than one, Instagram or something under the influence of sleeping pills and then not remembered it. And the thing is that doesn't really get you out of trouble. So like if I got real effed up on all my sleeping pills and I get on Discord and I have some long inappropriate conversation, I'm never going to get away with being able to say, well, I didn't remember, I didn't know, like that wasn't really me. Like I'm going to be in just as much trouble as if I had consciously said that shit. So usually I have made a rule for myself that I try not to get on, I try not to interact with people. The other thing that'll happen is clients. Oh God, I have read client messages real late in the night with a head full of sleeping pills, and then forgot and like said, "Hey man, let me get I'll send you something tomorrow. I'll do something for you. We'll set something up tomorrow." Gone. Next day, I have no memory, and then I fuck that up. And so I try to make it a rule not to interact with anybody, but it's also the most fun time because then I'm like way more relaxed. That'd be so when y'all say 2 units of GH, is that number 2? So when I say 2 units, what was it? KHU? Yeah, KHU. When I say 2 units, if you have an insulin pen that has 100 lines on it, then line 2 on the insulin pen would be 2 units. It's a measurement system. Yeah, I understand. Had an ex on Ambien talking to an imaginary person in the driver's seat of his car, telling them to get out. The problem with me, Jen, on Ambien and most anything that's remotely inebriating is that see, the thing is, how can I say this? I want to chase people. Like that's in my nature. And it's not so much chasing, it's that the way that I interact with women by nature is to be very inquisitive. So like I ask them a lot of personal questions, I try to get to know them. I try to find out all their quirks, what's your favorite color? Like I start trying to dig into a woman's psyche and like try to get to know her on a really personal level. That's my natural way. If I was free to my own, if I was up to my own devices, that's how I interact with basically any woman I come into contact with. The problem is that while that is technically in and of itself innocuous, it is unfortunately the precursor to bad behavior. So I'm never going to be the guy that's just going to like come out and hit on somebody or be like, sometimes I see this behavior in the Discord and I laugh. Like anytime that like that I'm pursuing someone, it's always backdoor so they don't really notice it or I try to make sure they don't notice it. And so a conversation that on face value looks totally platonic is unfortunately exactly the way that I basically hit on girls. And Sarah knows that. And so it's gotten me in trouble in the past because I have to be very diligent about not being me, not being my natural self around women, because I would just be chatting up tons of women. And it's got me in trouble on Instagram when I try to talk to other bodybuilders, competitive athletes, and it starts out real innocuous, just like, hey, you have a great physique. And then next thing you know, like the girl responds to me, and then
it's the fungus.
Yeah,
and
like
fall in love.
And so these girls
fighting for my territory.
She's fighting for her territory. And so like it's happened a couple of times where like I can't even interact with like big name bodybuilder females because I've had more than one like where I just like hit them, hit it like I like their story or commented on their story, and then they responded to me. And the next thing you know, there's like this back and forth, and then Sarah gets my phone and she's like, the fuck are you doing talking to this girl? And I'm like, she's in Denver. She isn't, but I mean, if the thing is, if the tables were turned, I would be fucking pissed. And so I have to be like crazy psychotically aware. Yeah, like so usually like that's the thing. Like I let my defenses down is what happens. The Ambien makes me go, oh, I'm not, it's fine. And then I start chatting somebody up and then not so fine the next day. Ambien is a really weird drug. I can't trust anyone who's on it because of past experiences with people doing insane things and not even remembering it happened. Yeah, chaos. So the thing that's weird, like I've been on Ambien for like 25 years. When I got on Ambien. I started Ambien when I was married to my first wife. She fucking hated it because when I first got on Ambien, it caused complete retrograde amnesia.
Were you drinking?
Yeah, I was also drinking.
Yeah.
Is that, you think that makes it worse?
Yes, it 100% makes it worse because I've had 2 husbands on Ambien. Remember? But
Yeah.
one of them, my previous husband was vegetarian, and I woke up one morning and there were like.
Can y'all hear her?
I woke up one morning and there were Taco Bell wrappers. There were 12 Jack in the Box taco wrappers in the kitchen and half of a burger in the dog's food bowl. And we even bought vegetarian food for the dog.
My, what?
That? There's some kind of like.
How can you feed a dog vegetarian food?
I don't know. It was supposed to be like healthy, some kind of dog. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I remember that we had to get it from a special place and it was very expensive. That's what I remember. But anyway, he had the half a burger in the dog food bowl, and I'm like, what happened? And he had no idea. And then we went up to Jack in the Box and they were like, oh my God, we remember you last night in the drive-thru. And I was asleep and he had driven his car to the.
I love the dude cheated on his veganism with beef while he was fucked up on Ambien. So when I first got married and I first got on it, I was a raging alcoholic at that point. And she was very sensitive about shit. And I cannot tell you the number of times that like I'd be downstairs the next morning, like getting ready for work. And she would go, you were kind of weird last night. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you don't remember last night? No. Like, remember what? She's like, do you remember having sex last night? I'm like, no. No. Like we would have like full-blown conversations, entire sex acts. And apparently what I would do is she would try to be vetting me during the process. And I would manage to pass the test and convincing her that I was actually conscious, but which I probably was at the time. But like I said, it causes retrograde amnesia. So when you wake up, you don't remember anything you did after the pill kicked in. So we would have sex. We would do all kinds of shit. And I would have absolutely zero memory of the next day. And so I had to have, she made me actually, we had a rule where after I took my pill, no matter how hard I tried to get it, the answer was a hard no. And I started having to read to her at night. So like I would take my pill and I would start reading a book. And when my pill started kicking in, I would start slurring the words. And then she'd be like, okay, go to bed. And I was supposed to go to bed, which usually wasn't a problem because I was shit-faced drunk. But now that effect never happens. Like it's happened some, I guess, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it doesn't happen much anymore at all.
It really hasn't happened since trend. I don't get it. It doesn't work that good. When you think about it, when I started doing the trend and fuck my sleep up, or steroids in general.
Yeah, but you were confessing some shit about that girl at work while you were on the trend and the Ambien. There was a lot of confessing going on then.
See?
Yeah.
That's the other thing, dude. Like I'm always talking about how I'm transparent as fuck. I take too many drugs, I'll get caught. There's no way apparently I used to confess some shit about there was this girl that I worked with, and just like I was saying, it started off totally platonic, just get to know you questions. We became good friends. It was just friends, and then friends leads to this and that. I did not physically cheat on my wife, but I was very emotionally disrespectful of her. I was very disrespectful of her with the things that I said. So yeah. Does the Xanax not cause the same issues? No. I had so many people when I started Xanax. When I first started talking about it on my, I started making videos saying that I had started Xanax again. And these people, I mean, you can see it. And if you search my channel, if you type Xanax into my channel search and you look in the comments section of any video that I made that mentioned Xanax, you will see just an army of people who are like, oh my God, this is the worst thing you could do. You're destroying your life right now. I can't even watch this. You're taking mind erasers. Those things are mind erasers. This is going to be the end of you. And I'm like, holy fuck, bro. Chill. Oh my God, you're going to go through withdrawal. The withdrawal is worse than opiates. I can't believe it. I mean, these people were acting like, like I was doing the worst thing imaginable. Xanax does not fuck with me at all. I've been on half a milligram. Yeah, it's actually a little bit less than half milligrams, like 0.45 or something. I've been on the same Xanax dose for a year and a half. I don't occasionally I have a bad day and I'll take like a milligram. I did it the other night. In fact, I was on a milligram of Xanax last night. Occasionally I'll take like a little extra, but I'm not addicted to it. Most of the time I forget that I had to take it. And I have to take it like right before I go to bed. It doesn't cause any memory lapses, nothing. The only thing the Xanax does is just make me not anxious. Like, I don't even think about it. Like, I know that I've been on it long enough now that if I was to skip my pill, I would have withdrawal symptoms. But I only take it at night, and I only take a small amount. I just take like a little bit, like about a half a milligram every day. It's nothing.
It's never a problem.
Yeah, she loves it. She doesn't want me to get off of it.
It's only when you take a couple of times when you've taken a lot and then the next morning you don't have any feelings. That's annoying.
Yeah, the worst thing that happens to me, when we were traveling, this happened one time. I forget. We had a bunch of shit go wrong. We lost our solar panels, and we found out they were trying to foreclose on our house while we were on vacation, and we just had like a really bad day, and I just wanted to check out. Like, I just didn't want to fucking cope. And I took 2 milligrams of Xanax, and it didn't even knock me out. Like, I took 2 milligrams of Xanax. I was fucking around my phone, doing me just normally. I didn't even really feel that fucked up. But if I take a large dose of Xanax, like more than a milligram, the next day there'll be enough of it left in my system that I can kind of be a dick because I'm real emotionally disconnected. So like I'm kind of careless about other people's feelings. That's the worst thing that happens to me with the Xanax. If I take too much of it, the next day, sometimes I can be kind of just careless. Like, Sarah would be trying to tell me something important to her, and I'm just like, whatever. Just kind of distant. Let's see. I've been watching all your cycle updates, but could you elaborate a little bit more on your mint progress? Your traps look jacked more than ever. Orange Diamond, before I answer that question, did you see my latest video where I found out that my mint dose was wrong? Did you see that, dude? I'm happy to talk about the mint for a minute, but I would be see if you saw that. Mike, the thing about your Xanax use is that being a former alcoholic, your GABA receptors have already been downregulated so hard that Xanax is more of a baseline to you. I mean, I'm open to that being true. I would think that my GABA receptors would have reset somewhere in a matter of 15 years, but maybe. So most people would be full-blown inebriated on your daily. Well, come on, a full-blown inebriated on a half of a milligram. The starter dose is a quarter of a milligram. I remember that shit they talked about the Xanax. I told you your demeanor was totally different with it. Your whole face seems nicer. Yeah, man, Xanax is a staple for me. I am so fucking high strung that it doesn't take a lot. It's just a little bit to take the fucking edge off. I could probably use more, but I won't because I don't want to ever be on a dose that will take me longer. Like, I have to keep enough on hand that I can taper off if some disaster struck, or if my connection is already fucked. Like, I basically lost my connection. So I actually have an appointment coming up with my old psychiatrist to see if he'll write it again. Because I can't risk going through withdrawal. So even though I would probably feel better on a slightly higher dose that I'm on, I won't take it because I know the hell that withdrawal is. And so I just keep it where it is. But yeah, it's great. Orange Diamond, the Cliff's Notes version of my mint situation is that I'm an idiot. And so I got into my head. I knew that the mint was like most all of my drugs are 200 milligrams per milliliter. So when I went to dose the mint, I dosed. I knew I had to dose it less than normal, but in my head I was thinking it was 100 milligrams per milliliter, and it's actually 50 milligrams per milliliter. So the whole time that I've been saying, I told you guys that I started at 5 milligrams, then went to 7 milligrams, and then I have been at 10 milligrams. And I made that video saying that I wasn't really impressed with it. Like it wasn't doing anything to my strength. It wasn't making things any better. And so today, when I went to up my dose again, I found out my math error. And so what I actually did is I started on 2.5 milligrams a day for the first 2 days. And then I went up to 3.7. And so I've only been on 5 milligrams of mint for this past like 4 or 5 days. So that's why I accidentally crashed my estrogen. That's why I haven't really been feeling the mint all that much. And it hasn't been, my physique still is changing, even on the small amount. So I'm super excited to see what's going to happen because basically now I doubled it. So I'm actually really, today was my first day actually really being on 10 milligrams of mint because I fucked up the dosing. So I was taking 10 units thinking it was 10 milligrams and it was only 5. And so today I started actually 10 milligrams. So you should see my physique. I'm hoping over the course of the next week or two, should be even more dramatic because now I'm on twice what I was to get here. So I'm up to 212 pounds, maybe more today, and fucking killing it in the gym. So we'll see how that goes with actually running 10 milligrams. Ambien works okay, but raises my prolactin. I really don't feel benzos and I don't drink. I don't feel the Xanax at all either. That's the thing. Like the reason people get addicted to Xanax is because they're chasing the high, and that is a losing battle. You cannot maintain the high. I don't care how much you take. I know this because my brother did it. My brother at one point was taking 5-6 bars of Xanax a day. So that's 5 to 6 times 2 milligrams per day. With when I first got the Xanax, I felt it hardcore. And so like 0.3, I think is where I started, 0.35, and it would be enough to give me a buzz. When I jumped up to half of a milligram, I got a buzz the first two. Sorry, I just scratched the wall. Oh, I got a buzz the first couple times I did it. If you increase your dose, you can catch a buzz, but it only lasts for 2 days if you do it every day. And so people get addicted because they keep constantly trying to chase this buzz that will absolutely not last no matter how hard you try. Then they try to add alcohol to the mix. And they do all of these things. It's a total losing battle. So if you take benzos for what they're prescribed for, which is anxiety, and you stop trying to even feel them. Like I don't feel the Xanax at all. What I feel is the absence of anxiety. That's what I feel. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the reason I take it, is to feel the absence of anxiety. I don't want to feel anxious. So I don't even know I'm taking it. But it's definitely working. I assumed you were on 1 milligram or more. So you're right. 0.5 isn't that much, but you should look into the permanent activation, potential reduction of GABA receptors from alcohol abuse. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into it, dude. But I mean, it's kind of like a moot point, unfortunately, because I don't drink at all. Like now, like in the past year, I've probably had maybe 6 drinks. Like the only time I drink alcohol is on rare occasion. My wife and I go out to dinner somewhere and I'll have like a mojito, or, we go out for margaritas or something. I'll have a couple. I don't really like to drink anymore because it just fucks up my bodybuilding. And so like right now where I'm in a growth phase, I will I will absolutely not touch a drop of alcohol. Well, until I just made MK with it. But like I wouldn't even have a single fucking solitary drink until I'm done growing. So I don't intend on ever being an alcoholic again. So whatever damage I did to my body with alcohol is said and done, and I don't ever plan on going back. I don't have any desire to, really. My lady had an argument and I'm sleeping in the hot car. Oh my God. I blame her, but maybe it's the trend. Not sure yet. Oh, I I hate to tell you, bro, it's probably the trend.
Even if the trigger even if the trigger is legitimate, like I was telling Mike earlier when he was talking about the stuff that he took today, I was like, what you have to just remember is that even if your trigger is reasonable, you have to react like it's not for a while, just in case. Like otherwise, we end up in the situation we were in a week ago, that like where it is reason. Everything seems reasonable on trend, or on a come up of any kind, and so it's like you gotta blame that even if that's not what it, even if later on you find out that's not what it is, better to blame it in the moment.
The thing is, with the trend, like she said, there's been plenty of times where I got fucking pissed off on trend for a very good reason. I had every reason to be pissed off. I just didn't have any reason to be as pissed off as I was, or to say and do the shit that I did. So that's where I think, as a trend user, you kind of stand in defense of yourself and the drug, because like, hey, this person did some fucked up bullshit. But like your response to what they did is what tends to be completely out of line.
Well, and I would say, like, if your girlfriend or whoever has like PMS or something, if you think about it like that, like she'll be irritable or upset about something that's legitimate, but you're like, I mean, come on, what's different than any other day? Why are you acting this way? That's the way it feels to me when Mike starts trend, is the same way he says that I behave when I'm having PMS or PMDD or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a total mind fuck, because you're convinced that you're right, and the trend makes you want to double and triple down. It gives you the like the fortitude of mind to be like, fuck this, I'm not caving. And the thing that's unfortunately true is that relative to your norm, you're overreacting. Relative to your norm, when you are on trend, you will overreact to everything. That doesn't make trend a horrible drug. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or bad or whatever. But one of two things has to give. Either you have to recognize that your reaction, that you're having it, that you're overreacting, and clamp it down, or you have to be lucky enough to be with a girl who understands that what's coming out of you is not really you. It's caused by the trend, and she has to be able to kind of sidestep it and let it go. And that's where Sarah has gotten, is she's learned to not take every single thing I say or do to heart when I'm on trend, which is, a tall order, because I'm on trend year round. But the thing is, it's different. Like me, like she would not tolerate me being on trend year round if the low dose trend caused the same problems that like 300 milligrams does. I can run 100 milligrams of trend and have no marital problems at all. Anything over 100, and I've even tried going to like 115 or 125, and that seems to be the cutoff. Is about 100 milligrams is what I can run without starting to have too much problems. Anything over that, and it starts to get too heavy to run long term, that is. So like I will probably be on 100 milligrams of trend indefinitely at this point. Well, I say indefinitely until I blast again, which could be sooner rather than later. Aren't you happy about that, dear?
Yeah.
Starting HGH 2 IUs a day, nothing crazy, but I've been getting PIP like a motherfucker. It goes away. It goes away after a couple days. Any tips on how to keep that at bay? Using a 30 gauge 5/16 pin, my shoulder and okay. First of all, Char Arch, I cannot think of any reason at all that you would be getting PIP from GH. You should not be pinning that in your muscle. I guess you can. I guess you should be pinning that subcutaneously, and like grab your belly fat and pin it there, or like your love handle or your upper buttocks. Just put it right under the skin. You should not be getting any pip from that. The worst thing I've ever had is a little post injection itching, but not pip. I don't know. I would be wary of that. You need to monitor that for sure. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that you can tolerate Xanax so well compared to most, and thought maybe chaos. I mean, you could be right, chaos. The thing, everybody's so different. Like the thing is, like in my cabinet right now, we have like a medicine stash. We probably have 6, maybe 8 30 count bottles of hydrocodones, anywhere from 5 milligrams to 7.5 milligram. We got Tylenol 4s, we got all that shit. Because Sarah and I fucking hate the way codeine or any opiate makes us feel. Hate it. Fucking hate it. So I know people, I have family members that if they were to get into that cabinet, they would be fucking eating every single one of those pills. They would go into a total fucking bender. They are absolute opiate addicts. Fucking hydrocodones to me are nasty as fuck. I hate the way they make me feel. I had codeine syrup for a while. Ugh, I don't like any opiates. When I had my teeth done, they gave me fentanyl, and I told the doctor beforehand, I was like, dude, you better be ready with the fucking Zofran because I do not tolerate opiates. And obviously, vomiting right after you've had an oral surgery is about the worst thing that you can do. They brought me up, they brought me out, like brought me back to complete consciousness. And immediately I was like, Zofran, now give me the Zofran. He's like, what the fuck? And he scrambled and fucking jabbed me in the arm with Zofran because I was going to puke from the fentanyl. I hate opiates. I hate THC. I don't even like Xanax. I only take it because it curbs my anxiety and I don't feel it. If I actually felt the Xanax every day, I would stop it tomorrow. I don't like anything at all that numbs me or makes me feel doped up or slowed down or anything. Like the only thing that I can tolerate that fucks with my emotions is Tren. I love the way Tren can make you totally numb to your feelings. Like I like to turn off my desire to cry or feel sad or feel compassion. I hate those feelings. I love that Tren can turn those off. But the way Xanax makes you disconnected from the world, like I like that every once in a while when I'm kind of tapped the fuck out. But I absolutely don't even have any desire to feel that way all day, every day. So it's not like hard for me to resist it because I don't like the way it feels. I definitely feel it. If I go in there and eat 2 milligrams, I'm going to feel all fucked up. I just don't like the way I feel on it. I would much prefer to drink alcohol, but I can't. I have too much of a problem with it. So we're expecting twins, a boy and a girl. Okay, well, if your wife is pregnant, dude, and you're on Tren, it's probably not you. It's probably my wife was a fucking lunatic when she was pregnant. Both of my wives were lunatics when they were pregnant. The big fucking blow up fight that we've talked about, that almost got me sent to fucking prison in this marriage happened coincidentally while she was pregnant. Women are out of their fucking minds when they're pregnant. If I was you, I'd go get a hotel until she has those babies. I can't even imagine being on Tren with a pregnant woman in the house. Holy fuck. See you, Jen. She can't sidestep. No, man. Yeah, dude. If she's pregnant, oh, best of fucking luck, dude. Lil Jim, my wife was just complimenting Sarah's shoulders when you said that. Yeah, holy shit. Oh, God, I feel bad for this dude. I'm having like a traumatic flashback right now to when she was pregnant. Her pregnant, like it took a while. Like we went through some shit. Bad shit. Like the only way we got through her pregnancy And like the first 6 months, maybe 3 months post-pregnancy, we literally had a therapist on speed dial.
More
Like,
than one.
yeah, we had more than one.
Two.
We had a therapist that we were both seeing, and there were multiple times during her pregnancy or post-pregnancy where I did something that she took exception to. She freaking lost her mind, ran across the other side of the bedroom, was screaming at me not to come anywhere near her, having a total fucking like what looked like a psychotic break. I would have to get the phone, call the therapist. This could be 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at fucking night. Put this dude on speakerphone and like get her to calm down, come to the phone. Are you in danger? No. Like it was just, she was having like these massive emotional, like out of control reactions. And she would literally, I mean, there were times where she literally screamed at me and ran across the room and was like hiding in a fucking corner like a cat that you just, like a feral cat. It was wild, dude. That's why like progesterone in her body is like injecting her with Satan. It's completely, it's maniacal, man. I feel for you, dude.
Well, but we got the best kid out of the deal.
Yeah.
We got a really good kid out of that.
Yeah. $24,000 in therapy. We got a really great kid, man. Actually, it was like $24,000 in therapy and $24,000 for a fucking attorney that didn't do dick. My attorney literally fired me in court. And then I had to represent myself after I paid this guy $24,000.
But don't worry, Manic. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Manic, you'll be good, dude. Don't worry. Just don't watch my video on getting married and having kids. I made this YouTube. I gotta cut this short, probably. I made this YouTube video the other day. It was titled basically "Don't get married and don't have kids." Getting married or having children is the worst decision a man can make, is the title of the video. And one of my big, like, longtime fans fucking he was like one of the first people to comment after watching the video. He was like, damn, bro, like, thanks a lot. I'm literally getting married tomorrow. And he did. He went and got married one day after watching that video. Oh, poor bastard, man. He's probably gonna get divorced. The thing is, like, when you say that, it's like saying like I don't know. It's like saying somebody's probably saying somebody's marriage is probably gonna end up in divorce is like saying, you know, that horse is probably gonna outrun that dog. It's probably going to. The odds are it's going to. You know, like it's like the safest bet in the world. If you could gamble on marriages, oh my God, dude, that's what you should do. Somebody needs to turn marriage into a gambling thing. Nah, but the thing is, people will try to rig it. Yeah. You know, I wonder if there's a way we could make a gambling book on weddings to where, you know what you do? Well, no one that knows the couple can be involved though. It'd still be pretty dicey. Yeah. That'd be fun to gamble on. How long a marriage is going to last. My woman has raised her voice talking me weeks, and I've been trying not to take it so serious. I saw it and started to think about life. And just by chance, she was next to me playing on the PlayStation while I'm listening to it. Oh, fuck. Did she hear the video?
Oh, no. You're ruining their marriage.
Sarah rolling her eyes like crazy. What? Are you back there rolling your eyes?
Never.
What are you rolling your eyes at?
I don't even remember which things.
Probably about you being a lunatic while you're pregnant.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Because
I was the only lunatic.
Are you denying you were a lunatic when you were pregnant?
I'm not denying that I was difficult.
What? You're not denying that you were difficult?
I was difficult.
How would you really honestly describe that?
I was not good. It was definitely.
If you were watching somebody else.
It was almost as bad as your trend come up.
Oh my God, it was almost as bad as my trend come up. That, I mean, that alone should tell you something. It was easily as bad as my trend come up. All right. What time is it? 11:37. Saturday. What the hell was I doing going live on Saturday?
I don't know what you were doing. I rarely do.
You know what I was doing going live on Saturday is that I didn't know it was Saturday. That's what it's like being me. I have no life to the point that I didn't even know that it was Saturday. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. I'm not doing shit anyway. Tomorrow is Father's Day. So if you're on the East Coast, it's already Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to any fathers out there. Happy pre-Father's Day to Manic, who really is going to need it because he's got twins on the way. Oh no, lol. They don't understand how it is to deal with. But it's my very first time, so new to this. But I'm sure it will be okay. Oh yeah, man, you'll be good. Don't worry, it's good.
Don't make any big decisions on a come up.
Yeah,
that's our rule here.
She's
don't
right.
Get divorced. Don't.
Thanks, Jay.
Don't quit your job.
We have a rule that when I'm on a trend blast, we do not make any big decision, any big life decisions. Don't quit your job. Don't fucking get divorced. Don't leave, because it's such a mind fuck that, you know, and like my trend has probably led to a lot of our stupid pipe dream chasing, living in the woods, buying RVs, doing crazy shit. But you know, we pretty much have a rule, like if I'm on blast, we're not making any serious decisions, which means like we can only make like a couple of decisions a year. we have to like schedule decision making time for this 4-week period and that 4-week period. Of course, at this point, I'm always on blast. I'm just not blasting trend constantly. Oh, dude, carnivore, go to bed. I'm not going to bed. I'm gonna be up till 5 o'clock my time, probably easily tonight. So it's like this is like I didn't even get up till 1 o'clock. I haven't even been awake for 12 hours yet. This is like fucking what would this be equivalent of? If you get up at 8 o'clock, I've been awake for
what time is it?
Like 10 hours, 10 and a half hours. So what would that be if you got up at 6:30 in the morning? It would be 3:30, 4:30 in the afternoon. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon for me. Like this is the end of my workday, basically. See, that's why I'm online. I had to close out the workday. I get up and I make YouTube videos and go to the gym for a living, basically, or so I think. I'm not making a living doing it. I'm steadily blowing through all my retirement money doing this. But what I'm really trying to do, honestly, is I'm just trying to survive the next week to week and a half until my car is here. I cannot fucking tell you. Like, I shouldn't even be talking about it right now. I don't count chickens at all. So like anytime I talk about my car, it's like I should be getting a car. I think I'm getting a car. I might be getting a car. My car's on the boat right now. It should be here soon, because until I'm holding the fucking keys, it's not real. And man, it feels like an eternity, because I thought I was getting a car and I waited like 3 weeks for it to come in, and then it didn't have active cruise control in it. So now I had to wait another month, and it's just been fucking excruciating. But that's the thing about time, you know, once it's here, it'll be here, and the past will be gone, and it won't fucking matter anymore, right? Yeah. All right. Hour and a half is probably good. What else do you have anything else to contribute? Nothing?
Nothing.
Way to go. You've been tremendously helpful.
I
Oh,
know.
I think she's in a boss fight. Let's see.
Don't watch, because I've already died twice.
Let's see if she can. Let's see if she can do it. You're live. Don't fuck it up. Oh, you got him. Did you get him?
I got her.
Look at you.
She killed me 3. This was the 3rd time.
Were you a little bit nervous being live?
Yeah. I'm really not good at these things.
She really is not good. You should see her play like a first-person shooter. Holy fuck. She actually really likes Battlefield. our entire family. I built gaming computers for our entire family, and we pre-ordered Battlefield 2042 or whatever it was. Total piece of shit, nightmare, terrible game. See, I'm getting ready to get off, and now there's like more people on than there have been all night. You guys better hit me with some questions, man, or I'm out of here. I'm losing the ability to try to fill the dead time. What she's playing in the background is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Odyssey. We're way behind.
I love Assassin's Creed, all of them.
She loves all the Assassin's Creed games. I don't even. I have a PSN. We have a PlayStation 5. Yeah, in the other room. I don't even play it. I like being on my computer. I like computer games. I'm halfway through the God of War game. I played that. I bought a copy of Harry Potter. Whatever the Harry Potter game was. Harry Potter. I bought Harry Potter for PlayStation. I've never read a single Harry Potter book. I have not watched a single Harry Potter movie. I don't give two fucks about anything that has to do with Harry Potter. One day, I was scrolling through my phone and I found out that the trans community was boycotting Harry Potter because apparently J.K. Rowling said something they didn't like, and they were trying to torpedo this game. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a copy of that fucking game for every single member of my family, just to spite those motherfuckers. And I loved nothing more that game just blew up. They tried to torpedo it. One of the best-selling games probably ever. I game a lot on PlayStation. Yeah, I would definitely give you my thing, but it's pointless. Like my PSN name or whatever it is. It's probably Cutler Rule. It's Cutler, like Jay Cutler, Marcus Rule, two bodybuilders. Cutler Rule together, RUHL. You can look me up, friend me. The odds I'll ever be on there is about fucking nil. And I don't even have any two-player games anyway. So, but yeah, my handle everywhere else is usually Cutler Rule on all my gaming platforms. So, but usually I prefer to be at my computer, play computer games. You know, I like a mouse and keyboard. Fucking controller is annoying to me. But that's because I'm an old man, you know. I grew up in a different time. You remind me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, no judgment. Yeah, my wife tells me that all the time. Oh, the rugged scholar. We've gone back and forth a bit in the old comments. Yes, just like that, Cutler Rule. What's your deal, rugged scholar? Like, I would like to understand your psyche, sir. I could never get anybody to really engage with me on lives. You know, I tried to get Red Pill douchebag, whatever his name was. He didn't want to talk about him. That's the thing with the people who like to critique me, is that people love to get on my comment section and tell me that I'm this or that, or I should do this or that. They love to talk about me. Start asking too many questions about them, fucking crickets. Don't want to say a damn thing. What's up, Michael? Michael Meyer. Yeah, that's the thing. That's how you can spot a troll, is that there's no give and take. They just want to shit talk you, but they don't have anything of their own of real value. And they always have avatars. And it's weird. Like, I don't understand the psychology of it. Well, what my question is that if I remember, let's see if I can do this. How can I see all the comments? There's a way to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm. I feel like rugged scholar and I've gone at it in the comments on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Red Pill doesn't seem very bright, at least from the way that he types. Yeah, I think Red Pill's like 12 years old. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand a couple of things. Like I don't really understand trolls at all. The thing that I understand the least is hate viewers, hate watchers. Like I don't understand watching somebody that you just want to see fail. And I have people literally have admitted that the only reason they watch my channel is because they want to see my demise. And that is, to me, that is like, what kind of a fucking low life does that? You sit and you listen to somebody talk for hours on end that you despise everything that comes out of their mouth, or you disagree with them, or you have nothing but negative things to say. Like, why would you spend your time like that? Why is your life so miserable that like it's like the thing is like if you work for a living, you have very few hours in the day that are yours, that your free hours. Like if you have to get up at 6:30 in the morning to get ready for work, to go to work, to get off at 5, probably fight traffic to get home, have dinner at 6, you probably got to be at bed by like 11:30 at the latest. I mean, what do you have? Like 4 hours a day to do to that's your free time? Why would you spend part of that time watching somebody you can't stand? That just blows my mind. Or if you're, if you live at home in mom's basement and you have all day to yourself, like right now, like that's me. Like I don't work for a living. I get up at 12, usually somewhere between noon and 1 o'clock, and I usually go to bed around 5 o'clock in the morning. So I have all of those hours to do anything that I want. And it never occurs to me to go, you know what? There's this person I can't stand on YouTube. So I'm going to go watch their videos. And these people watch the whole thing. It's not like they just look at the title and then shit talk, because sometimes they'll leave multiple comments about various different things that I said on my videos. Like I have admitted that I think Mike is Latent Israel is one of the most boring people in the world to listen to. I hate his videos. So I don't sit through them. I can't, like, why would I sit and watch something I don't like? I made a comment about Miss Sarah, yet you thought I was being offensive. My comments were erased by YouTube. I don't intend to be offensive. I do. Why this stupid heart button? It blocks people's comments. So irritating. I do make inquiries. Are you a bodybuilder, dude? Do you actually lift weights? Have you ever actually done steroids in your life? Rugged Scholar.
Thank you for your comment, attention, and is that?
I don't know. That's the other thing. I've got all these people who've never done steroids. Why do you, if you've never done steroids, you have no intention of doing steroids, why do you watch my content? I don't understand that. Like, what the fuck?
You're entertaining.
Okay, well, if I'm entertaining, then say nice things about me. Why would you shit talk? Why would you be entertained and then shit talk me? Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go like search YouTube for like, I wonder if anybody makes videos about what's some shit I could totally not give two fucks about. Welding. Like, I'm not going to go. I'm sure there's probably like tons of videos about welding, or like how to be a teacher, or maybe like, like men's gymnastics. Here's something I could not possibly give a fuck less about, except these dudes probably use steroids. I'm not going to go sit and watch some guy swing around on a pommel horse and tell him all the reasons that he's doing it wrong. Like, what is this mentality? Yeah, dude, total waste of time to justify their own failure. I think you're right. I remember y'all going back and forth, but think it was a while ago. Yeah, I haven't seen Rugged in a while. Do you actually do OnlyFans? Saw a comment before saying you do. Just curious. Yes, we did OnlyFans. It is still, I wonder if that's what's getting my videos dinged. Can I not say that?
I don't know. We just got a renewal since you've been on there.
We got a renewal?
Since you've been on there.
Tonight? Mm-hmm. To the pay site? Sweet. Apparently somebody just re-upped to the fan site. I don't have a notification about that. Yes, we were making content. We quit making content. So if you re-up, you're not going to see anything new. We've been talking about making new content. But the thing is that it's mainly pictures of Sarah. There is some video content, and admittedly, the video content is not the caliber of content that I would like to shoot, because I don't feel comfortable. We don't really feel comfortable making like recording our actual intimacy. So like we just created videos. I mean, there's like full blown show you everything, but like you can feel that it's kind of not genuine. You know, it's not like it's like fake, you know, because it's awkward. It's the thing is that we're not like doing it. We did it just to see what it was like. When I get really loaded on Tren, it really engages my exhibitionism. Like I do like to show her off. That is a thing. Like I like, for some reason, I like the fact that like I want other men to desire my wife because they can't have her. And so like I think that's funny. And so if I can get paid because some other man desires to see me or my wife, then like we did it basically just to have the experience. Like that's what we're all about. We want to have as many experiences in life, and not everybody has had the experience of making adult films. And so we tested it out, and it's fine. It's the thing is it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Like it takes a lot of setup, and you got to get lighting. Like if you want to like actually make quality video, you have to have all these lights all over your room. And so the thing is that you want to shoot like intimate, real, genuine content, but there's nothing intimate about saying, "Hey, okay, let's make love, but first let me put 4 lights around the room, and then you can only do certain behaviors that the camera can see." And it's like it becomes pornography. It takes it takes you out of the actual intimacy. And so if you're only sleeping together one time a day, sometimes it's really hard to sacrifice your personal alone time for the purposes of filming it. And so like I would rather just take pictures instead of doing video. And so we haven't done any of it in a while. Um no way he lives. Yes, sir. So TOT. That's how I originally found you. Sweet dude. Yeah, that's where J Stilt 9. That's where I started. I started with TRT. That's why I started my channel. You're like a WWE heel to them. I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about the WWE. Bro, your shoulders look jacked. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm hoping now that I actually have my mint dose accurate that I'll start looking even better. How's your coaching going? Are you still doing the same thing and the same price? Coaching is solid. I raised my price to $100 for a single consult. If you want to lock in for the month, which is then you get 4 consults for $50 a piece, but you have to pay in advance, which is $200. I had really no choice but to do this. I've got a couple of clients I'm about to have to cut off because it's like, dude paid me $50 and wants to fucking message me every single fucking thought he has through the entire fucking goddamn day. And I'm about to be like, enough is enough. Huh? There's one guy that I'm like, I can't fucking take this dude anymore. And so like I was trying to be cool. Like I started out doing $50 consults, and then like if you needed a little help along the way, like I was happy to give it. And then like I found out that people who are totally full of shit, don't know anything about what they're fucking talking about, charging 2-3 times as much as I'm charging. So right now it's $100 if you want a single consult. If you want ongoing back and forth communication, then it's $200 a month. I made a comment. Do you actually see? Is Test, Mast, Anavar a good combo? Test, Mast, Anavar, yeah. If you're cutting, it's a great combo. Joey, yeah, for sure. How much are you paying for estrogen checks, Mike? The estrogen test is one of the more expensive ones. I can't remember if it's 60, it's somewhere between like 68 and 80 something dollars at walkinlab.com or walkinlabs.com. Unfortunately, it's not the cheapest test in the world. It takes a while to come back. It's usually like 4 days out. Could you do me like a huge favor? Yeah. Would you mind? Would you give me a drink? Yeah. And hand me those? I'm starving. I need to be eating right now, probably. Will you just bring me a Dr. Pepper can? What was I saying? Yeah, it's somewhere between like $60 and $80 to get an E2 sensitive test. And it takes like 4 days to come back. Chocolate chip cookies. This is the kind of shit that I eat like crazy to get my calories up. So if I'd taken a bite instead of the whole thing, then I could talk. So that wasn't well planned. Oh my God. I hope I didn't read what I think I just read.
Don't be nice.
If I read what I think I just read, I'm about to be an asshole. Let me see. Maybe the troll is a gay guy who's trying to flirt with you in his weird mind. I definitely get gay guys. Gay guys are welcome. I was saying the other night that I'm thinking about making my own separate OnlyFans. So gross. For all the other straight guys in the audience, please just understand that I have a head full of trim and I don't want to go back to work for a living. And so I've been thinking about making a separate fan site that's just me and see if I can actively attract the other side of the other gay people, basically, that want to pay to look at certain things. Like the shower videos and naked weightlifting.
Historical story.
I can't even say it with a straight face. I probably can't do it. I think it's gonna be too creepy.
I would love to try to record this because I don't think it'll go.
I just don't know. I've been thinking, like, I actually was
Gay
like,
guys love you, so they might not care if you're awkward.
like, I was trying to imagine like having you get behind the camera and do like a photo shoot. And so like I was trying to imagine like what poses I would do, and I was creeping myself out just thinking about it. And then I have to look at you the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do it privately, and you can't look at it.
This is not going to be hot for me.
Oh man! All right. I was a strength and conditioning coach. I am a U.S. military veteran of 4 wars. I competed in judo for many. Currently, I'm taking 300 milligrams of testosterone per week. All right, fair enough. Wait a minute.
You asked if the Rugged Scholar was on anything. He's
A
answering.
veteran of 4 wars? What are you, 95? 4 wars. Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, what, Afghanistan? 4 war. I would like to know what 4 wars you're in. Let's see what else we got. Also take 100 milliliters of nandrolone every other week. I just see, dude, I just want to let you know, Rugged Scholar, that's not a scholarly statement you just made. I take 100 milligrams of nandrolone per week. What does that mean? 100 milligrams of nandrolone. Nandrolone what? Nandrolone phenylpropionate at 100 milligrams per milliliter. Nandrolone decanoate at 200 milligrams per milliliter. Nandrolone decanoate at 300 milligrams per milliliter. I've actually seen nandrolone decanoate as high as 600 milligrams per milliliter. So if you want to be scholarly, when you say how much nandrolone you take, you don't say how many milliliters you take. You say how many milligrams you take. That's the only thing that matters. Milliliters is irrelevant. I'm taking 300 milliliters of testosterone per week. No, you're not. See? So you tried to sound intelligent and you just exposed yourself. I'm taking 300 milliliters of testosterone. You clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nobody takes 300 milliliters. Why don't you think for a second how much oil that is? Most testosterone bottles have 10 milliliters in the whole bottle. So you're taking 30 bottles of testosterone at a time? Wow. You must be like 700 pounds lean. Fucking clown. How can you type that wrong, Mike? I can tell you the story of how I ended up choking my dad on the test come up.
I want to hear that.
K Hugh, we would love to hear that story, dude. What's your response to someone if they say, what's the point of taking steroids to not ever compete? Very good question, Joey Seltzer. What is the point of taking steroids if you're never going to compete? Well, for me, I like to look like fucking a god, whether I get on stage or not. The thing with competing, and the biggest reason I don't compete, is because like I've been to bodybuilding shows and I've been to a bodybuilding gym where I talked to other people who were competing and they were trying to get me to compete. And so I started like kind of getting interested, and I found out that you have to pay to compete. So if you want to enter a bodybuilding show, like let's say I wanted to compete in men's physique in open and masters, and let's just say hypothetically I wanted to compete in classic physique, open and masters. I would have to pay to enter each of those divisions. You could easily spend $1,500 just in fees to get on the stage. But if you win, all you get is a trophy at some local fucking show and the opportunity to then possibly compete at another show. So if I was going to be a competitive athlete, I would have to compete and win a bunch of shows to get my pro card, but that still wouldn't get me any actual money. So these people who by the time a bodybuilder actually makes any money, like a check that they won from bodybuilding, they've probably spent 3 times that much. They're still in the hole. So the only reason to compete in bodybuilding shows to me is if you're trying to get sponsored by some company who's going to pay you enough money to justify all of the money you're spending and competing. Otherwise, it's just a dick measuring contest. So I already know that I have a really great physique. If I was going to compete at a show, I would have to take a bunch of diuretics. I'd have to go on a massive cut. I would have to lose a bunch of total body weight to get really shredded and peeled. I would have to crash my estrogen. I would have to ruin sex with my wife for at least a month because my dick is not going to function normally when I have crashed E2 and I'm in a massive calorie deficit. I'm cranky and I'm moody. I would have to do all of these things to be able to have a chance at winning at a show that I had to basically buy my own trophy from, all for what? So I can say that I won a bodybuilding show? So to me, honestly, I don't understand why anybody competes. The way bodybuilding is set up right now is a total fucking joke. All of the people who are not competing, who run these shows, make a bunch of money, and the athletes don't get shit. So they're basically just using people's bodies to sell products and sell tickets to their show. And the athletes are the ones that are funding all of this. As much as I love bodybuilding, it's a scam of a fucking business. So I take steroids because I want to have an amazing body. I like when I walk around Walmart and I have people go, God damn, look at the size of this guy. Or people come up to me in the gym. Like I have always my entire life just wanted to look this way. So I take steroids because they give me an unbelievable physique. They allow me to be 43 years old and feel like I'm 16 or 18 years old. They give me amazing sexual prowess, self-esteem, confidence, aggression, strength, libido. Steroids improve my life in every single way because I use steroids as an enhancement to my life. YouTube, I'm not glorifying this. I'm not suggesting anybody do it. I'm just saying what I do. Don't ding me. So to me, it makes way more sense to do steroids and never compete. The vast majority of damage that people do to their bodies comes in the competition phase. They take substantially higher levels of drugs and substantially more, and they do very damaging things to their bodies in order to get in stage condition for almost zero gain. Like I have a lot of pro bodybuilders that I follow, bodybuilders who have their pro cards and they still have a fucking day job, like a shitty day job. They're living in tiny little apartments. They're not multimillionaires. So, like, I'm 43 years old. What am I going to do? Go pay a whole bunch of money to compete against a bunch of old men in the masters division? Like, if somebody wants to do that, that's what they care about. That's totally cool. I'm not taking anything away from anyone. That's like I have the most respect for anyone who does this sport because I am a spectator of the sport. I just think that it is a fucking travesty that we have people dying to get fucking trophies to say what? That they were the best person that showed up that day. I just think that it's bullshit. And so for everybody who tells me I should compete, I can give them like 300 reasons that I shouldn't. But thank you for the question. That's a great question. People ask that a lot. How much higher do you run your test to your trend? Currently 600 tests, SIP, 300 mast, 200 trend. I do VG. I do not believe in ratios at all. I think ratios are a total myth. They're perpetuated by bros that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about as a methodology to try to prevent you from actually doing the right thing. People think, oh, if you run your test to deck at a certain ratio, then you won't get Decadick. That is a fucking lie. There is no amount of test that will offset Decadick because Decadick is caused by the fact that the deck is a progestin that agonizes the progesterone receptor. Same thing with Trenbolone. Trenbolone problems, DECA problems are caused by prolactin. They're not caused by ratios. So you can run less test and more trend, more test and less trend. It doesn't. The ratios are totally irrelevant. I run comp. What is that noise? What's that fucking cricket noise?
Cicadas. It's Texas.
Fuck these bugs, dude. That shit's making me mental. I don't want to listen to that shit.
Trend.
Go out there and spray something. We have chemicals. Get out there and fix that noise. It's fucking annoying.
Allison thinks they're rattlesnakes.
God damn it. I hope y'all can't hear that fucking noise out my window. Dude, I'm gonna spray the whole fucking yard tonight. That's outrageous.
Chill out.
I can't get it out of my head. The fuck was I saying? God damn. See, 100 milligrams of trend. That's all it takes. I think one consult is all I need. Let me know, Jay Stilt. I was a strength and conditioning coach at the University of Texas, El Paso. Storm Shield. That's weak. Serbia and Bosnia Herzegovina. Okay, well, that's 2 wars. I'm not sure that's 4. Were those wars? I don't think that counts as a war. So can you say you've been to war if you were in combat that we didn't declare war against them? Or is that a police keeping mission? You know what I mean? I just don't believe this guy, so I'm giving him a hard time. I have just let me disclaim what I just said. I have the utmost respect for our veterans. One of my very good friends died in Baghdad. I have some very strong opinions about the wars that we fight because I think that 9 times out of 10 we send America's youth to die in foreign lands for fucking bullshit causes. And so I take it seriously when somebody tells me that they're a veteran because like I'm not saying that you didn't do it, but I'm just very sensitive. Like this for some reason this most recent Memorial Day fucking hit me hard as fuck. I don't know why. Yeah. So what a clown. 300 milliliters. Okay, so please forgive me. 300 milligrams. I was taking 300 milligrams of testosterone per week. I am taking 100 milligrams of nandrolone decanoate every other week. That's a stupid way of doing that. I received my testosterone replacement therapy from the Veterans Administration. You need to contact the Veterans Administration. Tell them that every other week of nandrolone decanoate is the stupidest fucking thing ever. I was 41 years old. So yeah, I agree with everything you said, Trenemy. Operation Editing Freedom. I've never heard of that. That's fucked up. Operation Editing Freedom. I wonder if that was a typo. I was an Army medic. If I could go back, I wouldn't. Oh, thank God that bug is gone. Oh, that was brutal. If I could go back. Oh, he's back again. I wouldn't have joined. Oh, yeah, I bet. I think this has gone long enough. Like I said, rugged scholar. Let me hang on. I don't remember what we've gone back and forth about, but I definitely am not trying to express any disrespect for your service. It is much appreciated. Again, I won't. I just I can't remember what we've gone back and forth about, but it's totally fucking irrelevant. So yeah, I think I'm starving. I'm hangry. 2 hours has been good enough for me on a Saturday night. I really appreciate everybody who showed up. Thank you for the super tip. Thank you for everybody who supports my content. Go subscribe to my wife's YouTube channel at the wife Sarah, and give everybody opportunity to say goodbye. We'll do it, Roger. Yeah, sounds good, Jay Still. Yes, sir. More is more. Yeah. Thank all you guys very much for being here. As always, we'll see you on the next one.